In a quiet town surrounded by dusty roads and small wooden houses, there lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel was known for his imagination. He was always dreaming about something new. One week he wanted to open a bakery. Another week he planned to become a painter. Sometimes he spoke about writing books. Other times he dreamed of building a large workshop. But Daniel had one habit that followed every dream. Before he started anything, he told everyone about it. He would walk through the market with excitement shining in his eyes. "Soon I will open the best bakery in this town," he would announce proudly. The shopkeepers smiled, friends patted his back, neighbors encouraged him. "That sounds amazing," they would say. Daniel felt wonderful hearing those words. That night he would lie in bed imagining the future. The bakery filled with customers, the smell of warm bread, people praising his success. But when morning arrived, something strange happened. The excitement disappeared. The work felt heavy. Days passed, and Daniel never opened the bakery. A few weeks later, a new idea arrived. This time Daniel wanted to become a painter. He gathered his friends near the town fountain and declared proudly, "Soon my paintings will hang in every house here." Again people admired his passion. Again they praised him. Again Daniel felt proud. But just like before, after a few days he stopped. The paints remained untouched. The canvas stayed blank. Years passed like this. Daniel announced dream after dream. People began to smile politely whenever he spoke. Deep inside, Daniel felt confused. Why did every dream fade so quickly? Why did his energy disappear before anything was finished? One evening, Daniel sat alone near an old oak tree at the edge of town. His shoulders felt heavy with disappointment. An elderly man named Thomas walked slowly toward him. Thomas was respected in the town. He rarely spoke loudly, but when he did, people listened. He sat beside Daniel and asked gently, "Why does your heart look so tired today?" Daniel sighed. "I have many dreams," he said quietly, "but nothing ever becomes real." Thomas nodded thoughtfully. "Tell me something," he asked. "What do you do when a new idea comes to your mind?" Daniel answered honestly, "I tell people about it. I want them to know what I'm going to achieve." The old man smiled softly. "Come see me tomorrow morning," he said. "I want to show you something." The next morning, Daniel visited Thomas's small garden. The garden was simple but peaceful. Birds moved quietly among the trees. Thomas held 2 small seeds in his hand. He gave one seed to Daniel. "Plant this in the soil," he said. Daniel dug a small hole and gently placed the seed inside. He covered it with earth. Then Thomas lifted the second seed high in the air. He called a few children who were playing nearby. "Look at this seed," he announced loudly. "Soon it will grow into a beautiful tree." The children clapped happily. Thomas placed the seed on a flat stone in the sunlight. Days passed. Every morning Thomas watered the soil where the hidden seed rested. He said nothing about it. Daniel visited often. Slowly, a tiny green sprout appeared. Week after week it grew stronger. The seed on the stone, however, never changed. The sun dried it, birds pecked at it. Eventually it disappeared completely. One afternoon, Daniel stood beside the small plant, now growing firmly in the soil. Thomas spoke quietly. "A seed needs silence to grow," he said. "It needs darkness. It needs protection beneath the earth." He pointed toward the empty stone. "But when a seed is left in the open, it never becomes a tree." Daniel watched the plant carefully. Something inside him began to shift. Thomas continued, "When people talk too much about their dreams, they receive praise too early. That praise gives the mind a feeling of success, even though nothing has been built yet. The heart becomes satisfied with words instead of work." Daniel felt embarrassed. He suddenly understood his own pattern. Every time he announced a dream, people celebrated his idea. Their admiration gave him a feeling of accomplishment. His mind believed the goal was already achieved, so the energy to actually work slowly disappeared. That night, Daniel walked home quietly. For the first time, he decided to try something different. He chose a simple goal. He wanted to build a wooden bench. But this time, he told no one, not his friends, not his neighbors. No announcements, no excitement, just quiet work. Every evening, after finishing his daily tasks, Daniel went to a small corner behind his house. He cut wood, he shaped the legs, he sanded the surface. Some nights he felt tired. Some nights he made mistakes. But because no one knew about his project, there was no pressure, no expectations, only the steady rhythm of work. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, the bench began to take shape. One evening, Daniel placed the final piece of wood into position. The bench was complete. He sat down on it quietly. A deep sense of satisfaction filled his chest. It was different from the excitement he once felt when people praised his dreams. This feeling was calm, real, earned. The next morning, a neighbor walking past noticed the bench. "Daniel," he said with surprise, "this is beautiful. When did you make it?" Daniel smiled gently. "I've been working on it for a while." "You never told anyone." Daniel nodded. "I wanted to finish it first." Soon, people began noticing his work. Encouraged by the experience, Daniel started another project, then another, a small table, a wooden shelf, a garden gate. Years later, Daniel became known in the town as a skilled craftsman, but something about him had changed. He rarely spoke about what he planned to do. Instead, he quietly worked, and when something was finished, the results spoke for themselves. There is a simple lesson hidden inside this story. Dreams are fragile when they first appear. They need silence. They need effort. They need patience. If we speak about them too soon, we often replace action with admiration, and admiration without effort builds nothing. So, the next time a powerful idea enters your mind, pause, protect it. Let it grow quietly in the soil of your work. When the tree becomes strong, the world will notice it without you saying a word.